I'm going to create a brand new Age of Empires mobile account, and the reason for that is the amount of mistakes that I did on my previous one. So in this video, we're going to go over the most common mistakes that new Age of Empires mobile players do, and I will also cover the mistakes that I did on my own account. So it's going to be a super important video if you are playing Age of Empires mobile. And if you don't, I would say give this game a shot. It looks like so beautiful, and the mechanics and all that are very different compared to other games that we play. The download link will be in the description and pinned comment. Now, let's start with mistake number one, and that is not having a concrete plan. When I first started this account, I had the plan to go for pikeman because a lot of pros, when you think about it, they deal so much counter-attack damage. There are a bunch of new players who have no idea about who to hit. They're going to hit you, you're going to get a lot of value. But then I realized that archers are also super good, and pikeman gets countered by the swordsman, which is probably the most popular troop type in the game right now. And the thing about archers is that they counter the swordsman. And I was like, oh my god, I should have went for the archers. I think they're going to work amazing just because of the field meta. And then I stopped buying Leonidas tokens and I switched to Mulan. So my account was like all over the place and I just completely stopped playing on it. So make sure that you do have a solid plan, because this game, Age of Empires Mobile, do have a ton of content. It is good because it's so fun to play, like you always have a thing to do in the game. However, it can also be very deceiving and make you change your investment plans. Because as you may already know, if you played any type of city building strategy mobile games, these games are not forgiving. When you make mistakes, you are wasting a lot of things. So have a solid plan, have at least a foundation of your plan and stick to it. Don't do what I did. If you trust your plan on day one, just please stick to it. Mistake number two is more like a mechanical mistake, and that is exactly what you see on your screen. As you can see, my stamina is 100 out of 100. Now stamina, especially if you're a free-to-play low spender, that is like your premium source of income, because with your stamina you're gonna fight against the PvE mods or do PvE stuff in the game, and that will of course give you like speed ups, resources, empire coins, a lot of things that you need in the game. So don't let your stamina sit at 100 out of 100. I'm doing this just because I stopped playing on this character, and if you click on this, as you can see, the reason why I'm saying that you shouldn't let it sit 100 out of 100 because it refreshes over the course of time. But if it sits at 100 out of 100, like basically full, it doesn't refresh, so you're losing a lot of value. And one more thing about stamina is that when you go here, you can recover 50 stamina every day. I cannot use it right now because I do already have full stamina, but when you complete a bunch of PvE actions and this goes down, you can claim it for free every single day. Another very common mistake made by new players is, and that's because this system only is in Age of Empires Mobile, not in similar games, and that is pairing your heroes without the correct military speciality. Oh, this hero is good at leading pikemen, so is this one and this one. But the extra thing in Age of Empires Mobile is that we also have the military speciality, and for some reason not a lot of players pay attention to that. Yes, it is true, we can pair these three because they all share the warrior military speciality. However, if we take a look at archers, for example, Josephine is good at leading archers and military speciality is warrior. Huo Mulan, military specialty is warrior and good at leading archers, perfect. But if we take a look at Yi Sun Shin, for example, yes, he is good at leading archers, but his military specialty this time is tactician. So there are a bunch of players who are pairing those heroes all together just because they are good at leading the same troop type. No, military specialty is so important because you get, if all three heroes share the same military specialty, you get 30% bonus increase, which is going to of course make a night and day difference. There is only one more thing that I want you to pay attention, is that when you go to talents, it's actually not enough to pair three commanders with the same troop type and the same military specialty to get that extra bonus. A lot of people for some reason don't realize it. You also need to unlock this strength in numbers talent, because if we read it, it activates the hero's military speciality. So if you don't unlock it, it doesn't even matter. Make sure to go to your talents. When you are able to get it, go ahead and get this unlocked ASAP. Now, speaking of heroes, this is going to be a little bit similar to the first mistake. Not the same, but a little bit similar. In Age of Empires Mobile, we do make our pairings, our marches or formations, whatever you want to call it, with three heroes. And even when we play the games, when you only pair two heroes or commanders together, even in those games, we always say focus on a single pairing, one step at a time. And in Age of Empires Mobile, since you are making those pairings with three heroes instead, it is even more important because in total, it is going to require more tokens, more XP, more skills. Like basically the requirements to make that march as good as possible is increasing because we are not using two, we are using three heroes. So please, when you are investing on heroes, only focus on one march. Have a march on your mind, make sure that it is a good march, and work on that one only. I know a lot of free-to-play players are thinking like this, and at a certain point, even I thought the same. I'm going to, let's say, invest on pikemen, and pikemen gets countered by swordsmen. So I'm going to invest on archers as well to counter the swordsmen, a pikeman march and an archer march. Well, you cannot do it. You have to go one step at a time, because if you do that, both your marches are going to be super weak. Instead, go for one very strong march, and once you are fully satisfied with it, move on to the next one. Yes, in theory, it makes a lot of sense, but in reality, you probably won't be able to do that. Right, so here's the next mistake, and that is probably the one that I'm most ashamed of, because it's just basic math. I mean, it was basic math, but I just didn't realize it for quite a while. And that is, as you can see on your screen right now, I do have 3 building queues permanently on this account, meaning that I purchased it with money. However, before I actually decided to purchase it, there was an option. You should be able to see it on your screen because I'm using my ultra professional editing and Photoshop skills. You are able to purchase the 3rd building queue with 1000 Empire coins for 2 days. At first, it looked like it made a lot of sense, because my logic was this. Later in the game, I'm not going to be able to upgrade 3 buildings at the same time anyways, because I won't have enough resources. Because over the course of time, those upgrades are just going to cost way more resources, so I won't even have enough resources. What is the point of having the 3rd building queue permanently? Then I started spending my Empire coins. After a couple weeks, I was spending most amount of coins that I've earned from playing the game like the free-to-play way, because yes, I was spending some amount of money in the game on this account. I will spend on my next account as well, because I just really like this game. And after some time I was like, wait, this does not worth at all. I should either buy this permanently with real money, or I should just forget about the 3rd building queue and stick to 2. So please don't do what I did. Don't buy the 3rd building queue with Empire coins. If you really want it, just go ahead and purchase it with real money, unless you are like a strict free-to-play. Otherwise, stick to 2 building queues. Now let's move on to the next one. Now here's another mistake that I also did, and I want you to avoid it at all costs. And that is becoming a very juicy target. And for this, we need to think about how can you become a juicy target? Well, it's all about your resources. If you have a lot of resources, then your city is a really good target to raid. And what you always can do to avoid it, keeping these resource numbers as low as possible, like only the amount that you really need to maybe upgrade a building or do a research, whatever. I was, however, a little bit cocky, and I said, you know what, I'm just going to open all these tokens, so I don't need to replenish my resources every single time I need to do a building, research, training, whatever. So I used a bunch of them. And guess what? I got raided, baby. I lost almost all my resources, so that was basically the trigger to restart a brand new account. Do not use your resource tokens. Keep these numbers as low as possible so that you don't become a juicy target and your resources don't get plundered. Hope you guys liked it, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to try the game, make sure to download it from the link in the description or pinned comment. Create your account in 113. Join my alliance if you want to, so that we can play together. I see you on the next Age of Empires mobile video. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye. And subscribe for more.